Good morning. How are you guys? I hope you're doing well. This day mwebale kumukira baba. Mwakera kumbuza ko. That's a very warm feeling okuba nti oyina abantu abakera ne bakubuza ko nti oli otya. I hope you guys are doing well today. Today is Thursday. We're almost finishing July. So I don't know how far you've gone with your goals, but whenever I can. That remember when we were starting the year with the broadcast, we talked about setting goals and we set our goals, and there's one major goal that I haven't tackled yet, but I'm starting to tackle it today. All the other goals I've tackled them and probably finished some of them, but I've touched all the major goals that I set this year, and some of them have even gone beyond. So I don't know for you how far you've gone with your goals. Because Kakati, it's more than half a year. We are finishing the 7th month of the year soon, because well, today is 27th, so those are like 3 to 4 days. So it means by now you should have covered like 50% of your goals. Going 55 we watch out 56 60. Bananga, you guys like the broadcast. You're 21, we have only 6 likes. So apparently it's only fair to me and the broadcast that you like the broadcast 21 times. Marvo Gadget Center. Yes. A chairman Zach. Larry Hans. Man, studio charge so rakat. Anyway, I don't write my own songs just the way I don't write the content I put on TV. Okay, I'm part of the writers, but I'm not like I know how to create concepts, but I'm not really a writer. So that's one reason. I don't know. I can't write. Well, in music you need a writer, you need a producer, you need a video producer, you need a promoter, there's so much that is involved in music that is behind closed doors, and that's why some of the main musicians we know are even struggling. Even the big three guys are struggling right now, because which one of the big three has a song right now that you can point at and say, hey, guy yare sorry yimba. So that's one of the major reasons why everyone struggles in music. And personally, I don't want to have my fate in the hands of so many guys, which take it and luck. Antonio, Princess Akia, Abby, Innocent Mugabe, Richard Nabong, Kenneth Krisireza, Ottoman, Namokede Mweso Nyuono Mulike. Leave this car alone. Leave it alone. Nelson Chobe, this Martha Adam, Sengendo Abdul, Richard Joseph, Galasi Joshua, Sagifon Solutions. So I hope you guys are doing well. You guys live Namukade. This thing is still serving. Finish line by buying a stepping eye. Ibrahim Chibuka. I have fenced my home and fixed water tanks. The only remaining is buying the car. My 9 million already arranged. Aha! Accountability. Innocent yako ze goals zenga we yali ayaga ruzukora. Abuzayo chimu buying the car. Azikoze mu phase. It's very important. You know, when you have a list of goals and you're ticking it off, things move faster. So you focus on one goal at a time, but then you make sure that before the period you set the goal in, it gets done. You have actually covered all your goals. It's very important. I think having a list is very important. Like me going back to school, it's a goal I set in November, but I hadn't done that. So I think was it last week, but one when I went to pick transcripts, and yeah, and today I want to go and apply and start class in August. No matter what, start class in August, probably August, September, October. By the end of December, I'll be done with one level, and then neyongereyo mpola bwentu paka wenamalayo ebitabo byensobo byenneetaaga okumalayo okumpita dokitaali. Mwina okumpita ko dokita. Nze nemeredde mpanise, I'm going to get married. Neremeredde gwetofaayo Emma waali oba owulira weeremeredde nga Emma akuwasa. But you know, goals are hard. Mujirengere musota bannange. That's one car that I will drive again. Musota chimoro kecho bannange. Nchireke no chireka. Muchireke no chireka chimusota. I find a newer 2005 compared to Toyota Wish. The same purpose despite different prices. Yeah, so and this is Kumurama. Today I'm talking about vans and minivans and why they are worth buying. Why it makes sense to buy them. When you study the Ugandan environment, when you study the Ugandan environment, you realize that the culture is almost in every district of Uganda, in every tribe of Uganda, we have a similarity in how we use the assets or the liabilities, as motivational speakers want to call them, that we buy. I personally believe that for me, a car has never been a liability. It has always been an asset. But motivational speakers call the car a liability. The motivational speakers themselves be having like 3 of them. so kati gwakugamba togula liability nga ye alina liability 3 mu lujja. So how we use these cars in Uganda countrywide is almost the same way we use them. Bogenda Iguru, the way they use the cars is the way they use it in Barara, is the same way they use it in Kayunga, is the same way they use it in Hoima. So you realize that our culture is literally the same. Emma Kulavu Jaina Antonio. You don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, the reason why we keep buying the same cars, whether in Hoima or Masaka, it's not simply because they are the cars that are available in the bonds. No. We drive the same cars because the way we use the cars are the same. Bwekuba kufera, you'll find that abaferemu north, baferemu west, baferemu east, ochitegera baferemu central. Because we basically don't have a south. The south is covered by Lake Victoria. Ojja kwesanga abafere in all the regions of the country are driving the same car. Mark X, Nissan Fuga, ochitegera. Tujja kwesanga nti they all drive the same. I'm not saying that those cars are abafere, but I'm just saying what I've seen. They literally drive the same cars. It's not, they don't have a meeting by an association yabafere where they go and meet, but they literally drive the same car. So that points to a similarity in the culture in our country. Now, when you find family men, whether the one has 2 kids or one has 10 kids, whether they even love their kids or whether they drive their kids anywhere, anytime or not, you will find that they drive the same car. You find that a person, family men and family women, all claim that they need to buy an Alphard because of their family. They claim, I'm saying the word claim because it's the right word to use. They never really buy these cars for their families. No, they claim to buy them for their families. I've personally seen someone that bought a car claiming that it's a family car. It was an Alphard, but this person literally never traveled with her family at any time. Yaringa atambulira mu family in a group, the group mate be genda kuzika, genda korachi. So in a way, for this person, the car was actually a prestige, a status symbol. The car was a status symbol for her friends to say, hey, oinamuko toke. Taina we are against in a family. For the time they had the Alpha, the paka we yamule made it because Yamara name made it. Which take it. Yamara name made it. Now you need to understand that most of these guys that claim family car don't actually buy the cars for the family. Majority of them, but they buy them for the prestige of it. That's the biggest reason why people buy SUVs, by the way. That's the biggest reason why people buy those vans like Noah, Alphard, El Grande, Regias, that's the reason why they buy those vans and SUVs. Kutura wagulu ochitegera. But we exactly. So it's like they sit in a meeting, but they don't. They actually don't. It's a status symbol. They have realized that you guys are bagule taka. I remember this time I was looking for a plot. But I was looking for an extra one, and there is this broker that someone assigned to me, and this guy kept telling me how he had just sold his car, the car that he had 96 million, how he bought it 100 million, but he needed to buy extra land He needed to buy like 2 acres of land, so he had to sell his car at 96 at a loss of 4 million, because for him cars are not that important a thing, and land is more important to him. So nga yesoma gai yakanya kwesoma nga bwe yatunze moroka y'ebbeeyi ennyo gye yagula sente nnyingi ennyo, okitegeera. And nze tebikyandya because I know kasita omuntu ayogera ennyo natandika okwesoma ennyo aba mufere, ntandika okukasimanya Katonda banze nyina eka z'ettaka 10 e Masaka. The moment someone starts bragging about their achievements, then nze ntandika okulowooza nti alimu oluferefere, okitegeera. So I've seen that very guy that told me he sold his car 96 million, and it's almost a year since actually more than a year since I interfaced with him. But mulaba ku border, okitegeera, oba ettaka lyagula teryatunda oba bamufera, that's something that only him could answer. Akakamuro kabakaita ka succeed mukalaba. The difference with the Pro Box is that kano kaina the reverse lights are here near the number plate, okitegeera. But also the Succeed is much more comfortable. The Pro Box has a bench behind, and no, that's not a minivan, that's an estate. The way we should classify minivans is they are 7-seaters and they are not as big as vans. That's the only way we can classify the minivans. Now the Wish, which is on the picture of the broadcast, is a minivan. The Ipsum is a minivan. The Gaia is a minivan. This ugly Subaru is a minivan. The ugly Subaru is called the Exiga. It's a minivan. Then the newer Alphas of the world, those are vans. Then Ochigege is a van. The Alpha DABO van. But why is it worth? Once we understand the similarity of the culture countrywide, it doesn't matter where you go. When we buy cars, we literally use them for the same thing. We use these cars for the same purpose. So I got abantu abesoma. I lose confidence in them quickly. Yeah, and there is no one, a person that struggles to achieve, Preacher Joseph, a person that struggles to achieve doesn't really flaunt their achievements, because they have struggled, and they know that if they go on flaunting their achievement, they may actually lose their achievement and have to struggle again. So they actually have what Probox about that made about border simanyo bamukirabye ekyo border kitebakozesa side mirror. Like when you're turning and you want to join another lane, use the side mirror. It's as simple as that. It doesn't kill to use the side mirror. By the way, you love the Probox, but the Probox is not comfortable, especially if you're going to be traveling with your kids. But you're going to the bench. Probox $1,12,000 right now, abe. Majority of the people that buy Proboxes, they overwork them, and by the first year out of the bond, that car is undrivable almost. Basivuga bubi nyo katika nyindo na yingine nkulage UBB bwefaanana agenze walala. Mali nakulaga the UBB, it looks worse than the UAM that I'm driving. Majority of those Proboxes succeeds, basivuga bubi nyo. Yeah, I mean a life luxury. Mark 2 also, the other ferry. One day they stole my money and the documents from the car. Bali in Mark 2. It was packed. Sorry about that. How did they come to steal your things? That's one thing you have to tell us also. Because there might be signals in but you continue to go on. I mean, Akakongi Eugene. Antonio webale cancellinga mwena message ya Antonio mugisome baba. I think this is one thing. Is that your original song in the background? Yes, Chris Fitness, that's my song. Kati nkuba zange zokka mpozi n'aba nampamba kubireko ku zaabwe. Sijja kuba nyimba z'abantu besimanyi nange. Nanka ne promoting. Hey, Martha, I'm going to send you the song. Ngena zikueleza zonna gwali manya cholimpa. Edwin Mugerwa, Gerald Sonko. Hey, how is Moroto Gerald? I hope you're doing well. Bananga Antonio webale cancellinga. Webagai musome messages Antonio namwe. Go away if you're going through a tough time right now. Read Antonio's message. I think the hardest thing in life is you understanding that the hard times you're going through, you're not the first. And it's you understanding that before you go downhill, you have to go uphill. As long as you understand that, and even the people that know it, so it's understandable if someone that is currently struggling thinks of giving up. You're not supposed to give up. You're not supposed to give up. You have to keep pushing until you make it. So anyway, we're talking minivans and vans, why it's worth buying them. Kakati, akamoto kako ka Sienta, it could actually be a minivan. However, don't want to buy a minivan that will do multiple work and then you go buy a Sienta, you go buy the Bakaitabateka no Kapaso Sete, which it might actually disappoint you. If you're going to buy a car that will act like a van, I would advise that you buy an actual van or minivan, and that's starting with cars that have 1.8 liter engines, not cars that have 1.5 liter engines. 1.5 liter engines may disappoint you because they're not performance engines. They are fuel economy engines. Before you go on and buy. So that's why it's very hard to find a government entity that has a 1.5 liter engine. Teddy, if you find cars, police, the army, even the small cars that they have, they are 1.8 liter engines. Why? Because 1.8 liter is actually performance. A little bit of performance. If you're going to be buying vans and minivans, fuel economy banga jesonyiwa. Otherwise, ogenda kuchawa buchayi bantu. Okitegeera nti moroke jja kube kufaako. One of the reasons, you remember the Subaru Impreza that we bought. One of the reasons why I picked the Impreza over a Primo was the Primo had a 1.5 liter engine, the one NZ. And with the 1.5 liter engine, it's actually a little bit weak for the body of the Primo. You realize the Primo has a big body. The Primo has a big body, and the Primo has a big body, and putting that small engine in that body and driving it as normally as the people that drive the 1.8 liter engine, so the engine will definitely blow faster than the 1.8 liter engine. So a 1.5 liter engine in the Subaru Impreza fits the car. It manages the car body very well. Actually, the engine had been replaced recently, so it might be one of the reasons why. Because the people that drive the Primo X, they are person, so they'll put a heavy person that has 150 kg. They probably put like 3 of them in that car. And that's how those engines blow. That's why you find that the Primos it's not like you don't buy a minivan that is a Sienta Paso Sete Spacio that has a 1.5 liter. If you buy a Spacio new model that has a 1.8 liter engine and it has 7 seats, that's okay. Spacio eya 1.8 liter 1.5 liter engine ngate ina 7 seats obo yo nona. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Obo yo nona lwansonga ka engine yako katono ku bantu bogenda okutikke mu lukeyo. So if you're going to be buying minivans and vans, make sure you buy 1.8 liter and above. Now, someone called me yesterday evening and they were asking me if there is a newer that has 1.8 liter engine. It doesn't exist. All newers have 2.0 liter engines. Which take it 2 liter. 2 liter. They have 2 liter engines. Namba nya moroka ya mani mujireke taddemu namba nya. No, I had parked on a restaurant having lunch. I didn't see them. It's the waiters who told me that some guys were in a mark to park near my car, but they thought we were together. Kumbe bali bambi. Sorry, Princess Akia. So what they did, they grabbed you and put you in the car. So which means to know what 2005 is worth a cargo and people movement. Yes, Abe. The newers, all newers are worth. However, I would not recommend that you guys buy these newers that you like, the Simanya Field Tuara, Aero Tuara. You know they have those fancy names. For me, I don't even talk about them because I don't recommend you buy them. Zinyu Mafuta is in Kadezo. So if you're going to be buying a newer, buy the 2002 and above. Some of them they start being manufactured, I think 2002 and above. This is a new model. Is it mwaka muno gwa Foxe? Those are the new ones that I would recommend that you buy. Izo tizinyo nyonga ngazili enkadde because they are 2 liters but they have VVTi engines and they are manageable. A liter can actually take you up to 13 kilometers if you maintain the car properly. Ku highway at least. Then wobera mu jamu negenda 10 kilometers a liter. So I tell you the Regia says is that is nnyo ziringa ze baatu mu kuganyuka ku marako. Don't buy the Regias, don't buy the El Grand. What watching ekimotoka ekirala yitire kubera mu ambulance oba bayita batya. I've forgotten the name. Granvia. The Granvia has the same engine. Actually, the Regias, Granvia, Super Custom, they have the same engines. Majority of the time, they have the KZ. Now, the KZ engine is not bad, but right now, I personally find that the KZ engine is out of fashion. I can't find the word to use apart from the word fashion. So I find that the KZ engine is old technology. Tewachi kuvuza motoka ya diesel sawa, you know. Because all the Bagamambo diesel cars save fuel, but all the money you save in fuel you spend in maintenance. You get because maintenance of diesel cars is actually much more than the maintenance of petrol cars. Kati emuro kajemba denku gambe. Zinywa those new words. Enywa. Deep in coffee morning. Breathe, good morning. Tell us Subaru Legacy 2012 model. I have to look at it, but Subarus are good cars. You just have to understand that Subarus have delicate engines. You see, and there is someone that told me that Subarus are funny. You can come park your car properly. In the morning, you come to start it, and the engine is dead. Right? So of course, I know that it comes with driving habits, but that's what they told me. So Subarus, they have very delicate. Yeta ganga ojagala nnyo. Tinebono sanga engine yekubi you want to cry. Good morning, Council Patrick. Good morning, Nathan. So, of course, there are vans right now that you should not be buying. Kati, this is the Voxe. That one that is packed. What you mcharo ya imi. Eyo Voxe. Now Voxe is a luxury version of the 2005-2002 models. It's a luxury version. It's much more luxurious, much more comfortable. Kati abantu bagiti angedda anti echamuka. Ne actually that car iti echamuka kuwayo. you need to take care of your car. Me, I check the water levels every day, at least every 2 days. Like yesterday, I did not leave home, but I have checked the water levels before I left home today. That's how you make sure that if there is any leakage on the radiator, if there is any leakage on the water pump, you can actually see that this car is actually leaking, and then you work on the problem. And if you see that the water has reduced, then you can top up the water. But people don't check. I don't know, for you guys that own cars here on the channel, when did you last check the water levels in the radiator? Because ideally you should be checking that every 2 days minimum. But if you can't do that every day, then kebera the reservoir, the reserve tank, to see that there's also water there. Check oil levels to make sure that your engine actually still has oil, which take it. Exactly, the maintenance is high. Atengera, the direct injection. It doesn't really have regulation. So from personally, I would not recommend anyone buys a super custom. If you really want to buy a car that is as big as a super custom, go on and buy a Chigege. Or if you can afford, buy yourself a drone. You have a car that is much more easier to keep on the road, consumes less fuel, and performs better than the super custom. Ati Vianney moroka so chiraikara kuba Uganda mpya. Vianney moroka gwaze jira mu bond. But the people that have helped buy cars here on this channel, let me see, 1, 2, 3. Only 3 people out of the so many people that have helped inspect cars. Only 3 people have bought cars from the bond, and I've helped over 25 people inspect cars. You can't tell someone that is going to buy a used car that those problems don't exist if people that drive those cars. I remember the day I inspected the Subaru Legacy, the B4, for someone. Try to kebere moroka, the guy wondered, Toyota. And I told him, Chichi, and he said, Subaru temuzimanyi chimaraga kuba. Then I started actually doing that research, and I found 4 Subaru owners that have actually confirmed that. Now, if you have tried to see me on TikTok, there is that post that I make about the Subaru engine. People actually confirm that Subaru engines blow out of the blue. People that drive Subarus like you, Vianney. If you're on TikTok, you can go for the love of cars Uganda also. There is a post where I talk about Subarus. People actually confirm it. But people confirm it. That it's actually there. It happens. We over only 2 likes. It's 17. Guys, you're 41. Give this broadcast 41 likes. Field S3S engine. Is a Moroka Muzide K. How about Toyota Noah 2010? The 2010 is actually much better. Munimu 3ZR engine. 3ZR engine is a very good engine. That one, buy and enjoy. For me, actually, I would recommend that anyone that has like 35 million right now, and you want to buy a car that can be multi-purpose, go ahead and buy that Noah. Which take it. First of all, it's very comfortable. It looks really nice. It's prestigious. It will keep your investment. Yet also it will, as long as you make sure that you look very well after it. So that you don't darten the seats and the floor carpet. Yeah, it's a very nice car. Yeah, that one that is parked. That is the 2008, 2009, 2010. It looks really nice. If you buy in cash, I think they sell it between 36 to 38 million. 36 to 38 million in the bond. Kati, personally, I find that instead of buying a Sienta of 26 or 27 million, why don't I give the 27 million to that guy in Namanja million is a kumi, ziba kumi, because a Moroka million kumi so okuzikolera oba mugezi. Okitegeera ezikola nezijjayo no sasula. Naye no bango ine Moroka esigaza value. Instead of buying a Spacio new model of 30 million, instead of buying a IST of 35 million, my God, why not just buy that Noah? because the Noah first of all will give you performance, and then the consumption with the IST is actually, the difference is very minimal. The difference is very minimal. So I'd gladly recommend that you buy that Noah. Subaru engines for a long while had issues with head gaskets. Only after 2012 was it solved. Mavogajet says, I've also witnessed a Subaru engine blowing just like that. Kati viani ndozo olabi testimony zitandika okuvaayo mpola mpola. Testimony zitandika okuvaayo. Nabasuubiza obaleetera Subaru Nation wano twerwaneko. Era nkakasa Arthur bw'atunda namukadde agenda kugula cross sport. Wa Vianney go and let aba Subaru Fest. I got an invite from Superfest. That the dude that started the Superfest yani. Mwera biderinya. He looked for me. Ngamba Vianney ngata nsokolo mulimu gwa Subaru bubinyo. They broke the car lock, stole some money, but my document is Zanuma. We were still in Korea in the restaurant. Bambi, sorry. But that was just something. Mark 2 siza abafere. Nzina nimze ku Mark 2 ate siri mufere. Nego twaguziza Mark 2 si mufere. He's actually a lawyer. Abane baloya bagezi. Baloya benna kuzino bagezi. Lawyers of these days, they are not like the lawyers of long ago. Lawyers of these days, people can even fear to give you their documents. You lawyers, you have to redeem your profession. Good morning, Daniel. Is there a Mark X with a small engine? No, it's not there. Mark X has 2.5 liters. Let's tap the screen. You guys like Oimutufu Emma. Vianney still, we want Toyotas. Tubalinze. Arthur, for sure, I need a cheap Noah field Tuara or Tuara or was I can get. Yes, you can get Princess Akia. But what are you going to use that car for? Enywa. Emoroke enywa. Enywa. What are you going to use the car for? If it's going to be business, why don't you guys buy the newer 2000 to 2003? Because you can get that one at it will consume less fuel, yet it will give the same performance. It will be actually much more comfortable. I personally don't recommend that you buy that newer field Tuaras Manya Road Tuaras Manya Road Tuaras but Kaka Manya very fancy. But those cars, we were driving that newer. He had never given it to anyone, and he was doing it most of the time because they're in Morocco company Javu. So in Morocco, they are packed literally all the time. Imagine you're going to buy a very bad one at 10 million. Me, I check every time I'm going to drive. Exactly, that's how you're supposed to do it. So, I personally find that vans in Uganda are worth buying, especially if you're a young person. And if you don't have job security, now I'm trying to be realistic here. If you don't have job security and you're a young person and you can afford to buy a van, especially if you're buying the newer versions, like the newer 2008, 2010, instead of buying the ISTS, the body baba musei, chichi. Especially if you have your car 35-40 million, you don't have job security, or your businesses have not yet picked, and you want to buy a car because you can afford it. Why am I telling you to buy the van? Is one, the van will maintain your money. It just hit a car. The two, of course now the newer versions of cars don't consume that much fuel. Three, should your job go away, because if you don't have job security, it means never quite send the amazing up video sorting. And these days it's a funny thing when people lose jobs, replacing those jobs is also a hard thing. So I'm just trying to be realistic, because the lockdown taught us one thing, and it's that tough times can come. Whether you are prepared for them or not, they can come and press you. So instead of buying the IST at 35 million, instead of buying the room at 35 million, why not buy the new at 36 or 37 million? No better na you. oyo moroka si ye mumulabye avuze Land Cruiser oyo si ye oyinza bana moroka nga yonga ovuga ebyekigwago. So why not buy a van so that bobango chali muvuka ngo cheyiya this one katsogera ku babedde nga baviyani njogera ku muntu nga yo still okyetetenkanya. Instead of using 35 million to buy a car that is going to strictly be luxury, because abambajja kugamba nze omulambo bunagana nga nvuga Uber. I'm telling you this and I'll say it again, Uber temuli sente. Bobo yagala koza Uber to make money, you're going to struggle. The Uber drivers are struggling. I remember there is an interview I watched on YouTube still. This dude was interviewing an Uber driver and the Uber driver was telling him he makes 100,000 a day. The guy was driving a Prius but he could not even put SC. Like if I'm driving a Prius and I make 100,000 a day, doing an interview I'll use SC. SC sometimes. You drive a Prius and you can't even use SC, yet you make 100,000 a day. So some people lie to make people believe that some businesses work. Nuwa is one car that you can use for deliveries, you can use it for school van, you can use it as shuttle, you can do airport drops up and pickups, you can sell goods in your very car. You can buy and resell, go to wholesale dealers and then distribute stuff. Now this is strictly a strategy for survival. Other than that, if you don't hope to ever get to that level of desperation, then keep most of your money and wait for if that time comes. You just go to an immigration company ugende Canada. Because when time is tough, we saw that during the lockdown. So why buy a field at 38 million if you can buy a newer that almost consumes the same at 36 or 37? Nze simanyi nze kati math mugatanganzo muvubuka are struggling to come from the bottom to get to driving namukadde, because personally nze struggling every step of the way. It has been struggle and math, struggle and math, struggle and math, struggle and math. Katugobanga you don't do struggle and math. Definitely you just buy whatever you want. You can go buy yourself a Golf, you can buy a Mercedes-Benz convertible and all that. Because the pattern of life, sometimes you feel like but I totally understand that there are people who are katugoba tosobola kweremererwa. Ze yuya avuga ka opero okalaba ka opero akakumidde ku bbala kali ku UAU akakumidde ku bbala naye kakyali mu yingini ya opero oba mulimu ya 10 manyi tugenda tuddaawo opero nga bazivuga kumbe omusajja ali ku yingini ya 10 gyavuga yajja mudda Toyota ya opero. So tolowooza nti because other people are driving Opels, you can also drive an Opel. Yali alimba, that guy yali alimba yali abagambe bya Uber. You can get a new 2004 nga nungi at 12 million, but you can't get a road to water, fuel to water to exactly. Ate nga 2004 eri cheaper tukubeezaawo okusinga the road to water. Exactly. Even the fuel consumption is very, very, very good. But if you want performance and stability of the road, buy Subaru. I totally get what you're saying, Vianney. Ofachi nensi baba. Bwe nkudda maaso ofa. Oyo wachi mazida ekyo simala kita ki mazida biki. Abadda nemeso muyingira maaso. Other Benz guys make money from weddings every weekend. Not all of them, Daniel. I know people struggling with Mercedes-Benz. For you to make money from Mercedes-Benz every weekend, you have to join some kind of organization with you have to have other guys that have Mercedes Benz. You don't just have a Mercedes Benz and think people are going to look for you all of a sudden. The guys that I know, because I have a friend of mine, the Benz mechanic Kasim, and it so happens that some of the guys that he fixes cars for have shared their experience. You come up like 5 guys that own C200s, and then you advertise at wedding meetings that you have cars for hire for weddings, and that's how they make money. You can't just buy Mercedes Benz and make money out of it. You need to know Gamba no. You need to know someone. Engineer yako echali musebo ne Gilbert Bukenya akavuga echali mungapo babugumu banange bu opero. I'm so badly in need of a family car. Kindly advise. How many members of your family? You know, when someone says family car, I assume they have a very big family. That Tilda in front of us can be a family car. My Corolla can be a family. How many kids do you have? And how many wives do you have? Okay, keeping in mind that you can't travel with 2 wives in the same car at the same time. I'm actually among the category of you have a lot of money but no job security. Tell me about Noah and Alphard. Which is better to buy for rainy days? For rainy days, buy the Noah. The Alphard in rainy days doesn't. The Alphard doesn't know rainy days, but the Noah can know the rainy day. So I would buy the Noah. But the Alphard can also make you money. Both of them can make the same money. Delivery, school van, because but the Noah will struggle more than the Alphard. By the way, I've been to Kenya last month. I saw a lot of Nissans and Mazdas. Probably spare there is cheaper. I've had people import Nissan spares from Kenya when you have to repair their Nissans here. So Nissan spare is cheaper in Kenya. It's even readily available. Same to Mazda. You'll be going to struggle. Bruno, Wish is better than Ipsum currently. The only reason you should buy the Ipsum is if you can't afford the Wish. But if you can afford the Wish, buy the Wish. Opel, if you take good care of them, they last for sure. Yeah. But me still, I would not buy it. You want to change a Z, they have to ban to go kumuliro wakoche, but Toyota andeka. Suspension plate, but Bosch za Toyota. Leave me alone. Arthur, my mate bought a Raum UAU old model at 11.5. Banai, people, temwagala tuwa mitwala ana katibuliro ono agenda jitunda wade he will be like wana jitunda omukaga mwe banai mukwate mitwala ana mugawe Arthur mukwate mitwala ana mugawe Arthur mukwate mitwala ana mugawe Arthur kati okwatete milioni 10 n'ogula Raum old model. Okwata oti emitwala ana n'ogula Raum old model. You people need to be serious. You people need to. How do you? Atakato ya mpangu de. How do you get 11 million and buy a Raum old model? People. No. Bane bantu mwe mugambe mikwano jamwe bampe emitwala naga inspection omwaka guno kujaga jabwa nkaga nekati bampe emitwala ana. But there are deals that people get ningamba bana chichino olumu njagala museke bwaba wali awo ne siseka ne bwo batoliwo nga lwaki siseka milioni 10 n'emozi manyigwe. Yes, you struggle to get a car, but you don't struggle to get a Raum old model. Raum old model UAUH nyina kuba ya milioni nga musanvu. Because even you, when you buy it, you will struggle to sell it. I tell you, will struggle to sell it. You're dying to sell it. Because you're Raum ye chokola bananga. Raum ye chokola. Elsie Verale, how are you? Obuzibubabuza late. I know. Abamutebabuza na kubuza. I think the family car guy is looking for a car that can take 3 to 5 kids. And the wife as well. What are you about to abazala abana batano muguno omulembe? Gonova ngoli musajja nozala abana batano. Mulina sente You people have money. Where vakusimu. Every time you see someone in jam in Kampala, they are living a very big distance between them and the car in front of them, they are on phone. Every time that happens, they are on phone. A open weight loss program. My uncle yajisura munimido ngemuso bwavu. Banange Antonio Mulira chairman zaku yabagamba ku open. It's a weight loss program. So Arthur, I have my 15 million. I'm wondering if you can get me a wish in good condition. It will not be very good condition, but it will be a wish. A good wish, have at least 18 million. That I can tell you. If you don't just want to buy wish things, a wish. Have 18 million. 18 million. Nze kumuzeyi who topped up 70 million in a hurry to get a Harrier new models are when come man. Some people make decisions. Morning, bro, teach me about Corona Chibina 190 at Ipsam. The Ipsam is a van. Okay, it's a minivan. So if you're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting, the Ipsam will do for you. But the Ipsam is 2 liter. The Chibina, enough for S engine. There are also Chibinas that have 1.5, but they are very rare to find. They are very rare to find. They are good cars. I drove the Chibina for like 2 years. It was my first car, UAB 155G. It was manual, and my God, I enjoyed myself. Nga mafuta olumusinze nga gula. Nga bibebi benonda ku campus bye bigula. Ja no kitokota. Muba mugende karugana isinamu za mafuta. Mwimira kushero ne kiteka mu omutwalo. Nencha ku machamba mukomawo. Kiteka mu omutwalo no manya kati zinako nganya ngenda ziyita, because that time fuel was very cheap. Like fuel was a liter used to be 2,500 shillings. Ndimukadde timulabe birevu n'envire mulowooza ndi muvubuka muto. So yeah, Chibina is a very good car. I drove the Ipsam, najigulira mu bafu, najigule milioni oba nayisasulako, najigula milioni 2 kitundu basatu, nasasulako ndoza 2 nga 2. Then the guy brought to me a fake logbook. Nemuga sijja kusiba naye genda nagwera ya. Then I called the person who was in the original logbook. He came, I gave him money, he transferred the car for me to my names. I drove the Ipsam and then I sold it at a profit. Najikolako sente nakuleko mitwalo bankaga. Nayi nakolako sente in like a week. Zalinga week emukubiri. Teach me Chibina ndoza nkumaze ne Ipsam. Waliwo gwe naguzeeko wish era mu Toyota neeyagala. Wamuguzeeko wish raisi. Olabika wamuguze raisi nnyo. Okay, how much is a good use Alpha UPP? I have no idea right now. I have to ask. Sagara Kulimba. What business can you do with the Ipsam? School van, special hire, you can do delivery. You go and buy things probably from Chiku and then you resell to other people. You buy things from wholesale and sell to retailers. So tundira muno obutunda ndaba obutunda batundira mu nakusina parking akuba nateka obutunda bwe muwogo. There's a lot of businesses. It depends on what line of work you're in. You don't buy a car to start a business. Normally I find that buying a car to supplement your business is always better. Alfads have terrible resale value or on the used car market. Yes, but I find that most people that buy Alfads basically because they buy them because they are passionate about the Alphard. I got a chitulamu ngalieri waguru awulire ngali comfortable. Most of them are passionate like you guys of Subaru. So I've never actually seen someone that bought the Alphard and they were really worried about the resale value. They already know the Alphard doesn't. The Alphard has bad press. Which one is the best van for first car owners? No wish. No way jemba gamba ye no one. Ate enyirira. Mujiraba ku washing bay oyo musajja watambulira. Mujiraba. It's a very nice Noah. Munja ate tenywa. Teba kulimba nti enywa. So I would actually recommend you buy the new one. So it's for me, I find that buying a van or minivan is actually a good investment. Yo bajita corona na itawo na ingira deni etambula kati viani ngojeri kisubaru ngo nesimbamu ogwe omuliro guwulidde ogulira mubuti munkuba mumbeo ompe bugumu. You give me warmth. You've got you in my life, you know. She done a lot for me, so I do the simple thing for her. Cause she give me warmth. Everything she do give me warmth, you know. She chochako na ampe bugumu. Muwende yo. Okay man. Hey, msena vya music ya nyumira. Atukubaraga. Ho ho ho. Subarus have bad resale value, except what? But I have any Subaru. Except what, Vianney? The way you love Subarus in Mukama Kusasi. Kati ISIS na yomoroka nunji, but I doubt the ISIS has the capacity to actually carry the many things that Wish can carry. I really doubt na ye. Leni jembadde nsubira okutambula ngeri ng'etatambula. Is mugongo gwambwa a car or an engine? Mugongo gwambwa can be both a car and an engine. Tawa taxi aduse muleni yange. Kitegeeza tetambula ne kansigale mutulali mukama jana atutwala. Only Forester has a good resale value. Yeah. Zinendana zonna they bid imping. Mukazi alina kimark to grand chicho kindabikira bulungi bannange. Kati ezo nnuwa zonna ezituli maaso muziraba, togula obwo butwa. Ezo nnuwa butwa. Eno eri wano eno smart town esi neri naye erayo ka town esi. Nayo town esi. Temugula obeera waggulu naye oba togenda kweyagala. Izo sente zo sima milioni 15 kuzisamu eyo emmotoka ziteeke mu Wish. Why buy a car because of resale value? Buy because you like it, otherwise you'll never enjoy your car. Daniel, I sometimes I find that buying a car because it has good resale value, especially when you're still a young person, you're still I don't want to use the word struggling, but I don't have an alternative. Especially if you're a young person and still in the struggling age, I find that buying a car because it has good resale value makes sense. Why? Because at any time life might make a turn. Because in Uganda, and from my experience, I've seen people struggle when they did not expect to struggle. We have ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. And normally when we are in our downs, you need money. Your friends can't lend you money, your family can't lend you money, the banks don't give people money without security. And normally if you're going to put your car up as security, you're making a loss, because bagenda kugamba ate comprehensive insurance, ate caveat, it's just a lot to get. That's why people go to those money lenders who end up taking their cars. So I find that during your downs, the one thing that you can actually sell very fast and get money to do your other things is a car. Ngo muvubuka. So that's why it's important. Okujja kongo obera waranga atha, like me, because I live very far, I always need a car in my compound, because the people that don't have cars in my estate are struggling to leave home to go to work. They're not really struggling because they don't have money. No, they're struggling. Just the process of leaving home to work and work to home is hectic. I did it. You know, there's a week I put my car to a spray. Hey, bro, I struggled. The taxi is not comfortable, first of all, but also the timing. You leave home at 5, come back at 11 in the night, because that's the time the taxi guy comes. The good thing is the guy leaves you at your gate, but there's a struggle if you don't have a car. So I have to have a car. But for the people that don't really need, like you live in Tinda, you work in town, basically you don't really need a car. So it makes sense for you to buy a car because it has resale value. If you live in places like Chira, Chira tewetaga motoka. You can walk to the main road and get a taxi. If you wafe, it's not like that. We have one taxi in the estate, so it makes sense that you buy a car that in case you need money quickly atitigenda kusala nnyo okitegeera. What problems does that Noah have? Enyonya mafuta. In this day and age, it's when I was still constructing in Matuga, tuveka wempe paka Matuga no kudejo atenga namu, which 2006 that was 18 at UBG nengenda jibaguza 22 abajeetaga. 22 is too high now. 2006 that's 22. Kanateka te esawe eno omuntu alina 22 million viani ngaze wange ate mba simu recommending agula wish tuba tugenda noonya nuwe eyo, because nuwe etayinza kugulayo mu 22 eba muziri enamba ezasooka abasooka okuzigula. Naye okujja ku omuntu wabanga ayagala wish izo million 22 zigendamu, naye oba ojja gitunda 2 nga mu emu 2 mu emu oba okoze era wakati the 2006 wish chosinga okutunda ye number nawe viani okimanyi. How much is a plot of 50 by 100 that side? 12, 15 depending on where you buy it. I just learned recently that a wish is a very good car because I drove it from Kampala through Kamuli, Busia, Tororo, Bududa, Kapchoro, Katakwi, up to Kabong and back to Kampala, but many people were surprised. But the wish is nzena fits njitwala yo. Nzena vuganga fits 1.3 liter nengende kabale today, nengende kabale nencha nengende kabale, and it literally had no issues. So a wish that is 1.8 liter and 2 liter, where would you expect any issue? I don't think people should be surprised. Toyotas are very, very, very strong cars. Very strong. Ngakubye. Jamwe Kampala nyiza. So the reason you're going to buy a van or a minivan in Kampala is for rainy days as a young person. During those rainy days, you have a car that not only has good resale value, people will buy it from you without a struggle, but also you have to understand that with that car you can start a small tiny business. Business within the car itself. You can just walk to a school and I deliver your kids home and school. Ekirala ky'obogenda probably to do kimak to grand ekyo mukirabye oba nsinikire muli ebintu. You know, people should know that I have no problem with Toyota. Actually, my madam drives the Toyota and it's much more comfortable than the Subaru, right? Someone said that minivans tend to be safer since they are designed for families. They are more stable and less likely to overturn. I actually find that vans like this Noah in front of me, it's much more likely to overturn. It's much more likely to overturn than my car. I find that it's also less safer than my car. It's less safer than my car. Why? The engine room, the engine bay is much more closer to you. So if you had a head-on collision, the engine would get close to you. The engine would get to you faster than my engine would get close to me. Simanyoba, it makes sense what I'm saying. But Alphard is more comfortable than the new trend Noah. But the Noah will give you better resale value than the Alphard, which take it. And it will actually also be much more easier to maintain than the Alphard. Even consumption is better. So me, any day, I would take the Any day I would take the Alpha, the newer, I mean, but not this newer, the new model newer. Never kuba kuwa sente abanuwa bagula mango okusinga aba Alpha. Ne baba babumba nuwa eno. Ogira ba ages wano mu sides. Bagibumbye nnyo. Bagibumbye n'okusinga bye babumbye Corolla yange. Kuba ne Corolla yange mumbemu. So minivans and vans make sense if you're a young person that is still struggling to make it, because struggling doesn't mean you should not buy a car. You can buy a car even when you're struggling and actually keep it on the road and enjoy yourself. Kamalo genda njala kuchusa CC kwa gearbox yange. Want to put new CC. Maintenance bana imoroka muzi maintaining murabire kunze kati nyate kamo CC weekend take mu steering rack ya mwe Antonio mulekira okumanja kidaba ina hips no start shaking and being unstable and no imoroka yo naina boy shaking. If a car shakes at a certain distance, if any car shakes at a certain distance, the car has a problem. It's not the type. So someone can't tell you that the newer itself shakes at certain distances. Then you should check the suspension, check the Zs, the bushes and all that. That's where the problem normally is if your car shakes at certain speeds. You check the wheel, if your wheels are actually balanced. Rim bwezibanga si nungi, the car can actually shake at certain speeds. So I don't think it's the newer. It's a main. You're gonna stay oil while you choose CC. Now, someone is going to ask me why I'm using city oil to change CC. I find that city oil, because the prices are regulated, petrol stations like Total and Shell, babbi. Abana bawo babbi. There is a recommended retail price, but because they don't display it anywhere, omwana akuba. And I find that there are some things that are standard. CC is standard everywhere. CC tali muchi obachi. So I'm going to, because the prices you pay someone else. Maybe nebintu ya Shell nese bagala okuguza CC yali badde ogumu ekiruba muguze esatu babbi. So I'm going to use city oil. Nonyene ku marketing manager tulabo ba yinzo kola ku business awantu abo. Because city oil they spend on marketing. So why not eat some of that money if I can? Yeah. After the steering rack, Corolla, Vianney Subaru at Kajansi Airstrip. Nebemba oyo Subaru ya Vianney. Subaru ya Vianney njeso boliranga stadium na steering rack. Abagenda kulaba muka we MP%. Corolla yegenze. Eya Athene na mukadde. Abagenda ku kama katonda yakola aba kazomulabi bwasaze. Tayagala manya. I want CC for my gearbox. Sorry? I want CC. Okay. I go where? CC. Here. So abajebale. Yala chusa CC mu gear.
Okay. Look at this.
Mwina abazitekayo. Okay, kale. Ajatekeyo. Baba guy, muloza sigenda basibula. Balokola service ya gearbox. Vianney, emotoka genda birira bwentyo ng'ogyesimba mu ng'oyinza okugigoba. Tosobola. Era ogirengerero ya motoka egenda. Waliwo abagala olaba namukadde wange. Wuuyo. Oyo bayita namukadde. Kati Vianney oneesimbamu. Nze nkwagala tugende ku airstrip nga sinabateekamu na steering rack naye mwe bagayi kamba siibuli. You'll die in your own movie. I drive my Wish 2000 from Chijinja to Kabale every weekend, no issues. Yes. After Romeo and Sienta, which one is the best? I would personally, I would choose the Sienta over the Romeo, because the Sienta, I find that the Sienta is priced much more fairly than the Romeo. What advantage does Ipsum have over the Wish? None, apart from price. You can get the Ipsum at 7 million, 8 million, you can't get the Wish at that price. Raba Wish na million 15 okujifuna oba olwana bubwanyi. Actually Ipsum bw'ogikaniko obulungi eri very comfortable. Eri very comfortable. Kajja ku airstrip nze Abitex wa battle. Namukadde kye mutamwagalako kiri kimu talina sport leave. Naye gwe omugamba ki? Omugamba ki namukadde? Omugamba ki? Omugamba ki? Vaawo viyani vaawo. Naye mwenze kamba siibule mala okusupervising. Omanyi bino ebintu byokkanika emmotoka buli kimu ekisupervising nga bakikola. Preach Joseph, Mugalasi Joshua, Sengendo Abdul, Adams, Martha, Dusabe Darius, Chiyimba Azizi, Raymond Sechibule, Nsanje Phone Solutions, Chairman Zach, Larry Hand, Mavo Gadget Center, William Magaz. Tomorrow is Question Friday, guys. Antonio, Innocent, Richard Nabong, Kenneth Gumisiriza, Ottoman, Nelson, Ibrahim Chibuka, Gerald Sonko, Edwin Mugerwa, Chris Fitness, Princess Akia, Caesar Rashid, Eugene, Life Luxury, Princess Akia, Aine Migisha, Emma, Remy Lewis, Rose Itungo, Kavira Mugabi, Brian Bwire, Deep in Coffee, Council Patrick Asiku, Nathan Vianney, Daniel Ranga. Yes. Mubinyo sisi. Atera namukyusiza wano. Ndaika muvuze ndoze emyezi nga 8 bakuba distance gyenvuga nnene. Wanji? Nkikyusa sisi kuba ngivuga wamanva ate jjukira newe baba bajjayo ebikopo wajjayo ekikopo ayiikako okitegeera katsaagala kutopinga tumuzeewo agende ku level. Ox Router, I have a Mark II 1986 model. What can it cost to bring it back to life like a vintage? It depends on what you want to do to it. Navuga road to wara super extra limo na it consumes a lot of fuel. Era yatulema. Simoro kanungi. Nsanje Phone Solutions, Mugabi Kavira, Dawood Mununule, Dennis VN, Lule Adolf, Chinarwa Bruno, Alan Mulindwa, George Senkubuge, Elsie Varela, Sonko Med, Kauma Derek, Benjamin B, Karim, Andrew Okuni, yes, muloza sibamazeeyo, Nelson Chobe, Richard Nabong, A.T. Brian, Eugene. We are doing only CC, eh? Yeah, only CC. A.T. Brian, Sengendo Abdul, Barikudembe Joseph, Don Joseph, Chiguli Dennis, Bravo Rogers, is there Ipsum with 1.8? No, teriyo. Nemwe kamba sibule. Mubeere bulungi kamala okulaba kye tukola wano. See you tomorrow in the morning. Ciao.